truth.
Looking at the chart on a Thursday, it's October 9th. What's up, everybody? Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Morning Market Report. I am Army Piper, and we've got a little pullback here today. Consolidating ranging on Bitcoin, nothing major going on there, but we are seeing a little bit of a pullback this morning here. Looking at the crypto bubbles, a sea of red. But as the thumbnail suggested today, could there be a big crash coming that sends Bitcoin to sub $50,000? One analyst thinks so. We're going to take all of his numbers, we're going to put it on a chart, and we're going to chop on what the reality of it is. As of right now, I don't think it's very likely, but we're going to see what's going on. I see some people rolling in now, so let's go ahead and get this thing going, guys. You guys know what time it is. Take your seats. Class is in session. Let's go. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Morning Market Report, the show where we break down the macroeconomics, the headlines, the crazy analyst calls, and we look and see what the reality of it is. We're going to look at all of those numbers here, but let's go ahead and bring up my co-host, the OC guy. Nope, that's the chat. There we go. OC guy, what's up, dude? How you doing today, man?
Oh, doing fantastic. Well, pretty happy that we can start taking some profits yesterday. Yesterday was a pretty good day. And right now we see that we have not only coming back down, but only back up. So there's a little bit of a mixed feeling today in the morning after seeing, like moving stop to entry. We're out of some trades. But, well, that's why we take some early profits. Other than that, man, it's getting faster the weekends. I mean, the weekends are getting here faster. The weeks are going so fast. And I can't believe that it's already
It's
Thursday.
so funny you said that. My wife just said last night, she goes, it is almost like we're into October. It is like flying because we're going on a cruise in December, which we're doing a river cruise up through Europe for all the Christmas markets on a Viking river boat. And like, I'm like, hey, we're like 2 months away from going on this cruise, right? So yeah, but it does seem like time is just flying by this year. It's crazy. And I'm just sitting here watching, waiting for, the cycle indicators to say, okay, I've had enough run. It's time to cool off here for the crypto winter. But so far, I'm not really seeing it. I don't know about you, OC, but time keeps on slipping. Shout out to Alexandra G. I know she's getting ready to drop all of those music notes for that one there. But yeah, you're right, dude. It is flying. It is absolutely flying. So
I have a theory, I have a theory, and this is completely unsupported, so completely uninvestigated, it completely out of my head, which, gravitational waves. I think that something might happen on universe, like something explodes far away, or there's a fluctuation on the sun or something, and sends a gravitational wave to Earth, right? And then, well, since our brains are measure time differently, just as a perception, we feel that gravitational wave, right, as the time actually slowing down. So when we feel that the time is actually going faster, it is because it is accelerating. And when it's going slower, it is because it's actually decelerating. Like when we have a collective feeling all around. Because also my
okay,
wife
so
was
you're
telling
talking
me,
about the universal
really
expansion, and that it's actually having the speed of light effect of time on us, and so we're feeling okay. No, I'm with you, dude. Physics. I've studied my physics. Okay, you guys may not know this, but I might be a high school dropout with a GED, but I have done a lot of interesting study just because I'm curious. I'm a curious person. School was just super boring, so I couldn't get into it, man. It just was not my thing. But no, totally understand what you're saying on that, and that is an interesting perspective. What effect does that have on the price of Bitcoin, though? That's the big question.
Well, I don't know. I think just as long as government is dropping or is close, I think we're gonna be pumping, baby.
Yeah, and we're I gotta say, I don't know if the case is going to be true that that we're open on 1010. I'm just saying, at this point, it's looking pretty bad. So 1010, you may have heard it here first. That was your first wrong answer that you heard, because I don't know that we're going to be open tomorrow at this point, man. they are holding hard lines across the aisle on making that the decision of that agreement, coming to some type of consensus that they can move forward with. So as of right now, 10-10 may be gone. So just so you know. Sorry, Alexander G. I thought it would be by the 10th, but I think they're going to end up passing a resolution bill to pay the military and still not come to an agreement. So, but see how are we looking on that Bitcoin chart? Because right now I'm looking at everything and it's looking a little weakish. Can we go take a look at your chart and see how Bitcoin's looking and then jump into the news?
Absolutely, let's do it. All right, so starting with Bitcoin, let's just get started with a very clean chart, right? Let's go see through the spaghetti. Very important. Let's just zoom out in here, and we're still within the same range, all right? Yes, if we start dropping some trend lines in here, let's see, maybe we can do it really quickly. Let's go to another Bitcoin charts really quickly here. Here we go, Bitcoin USD. Let's take that on here. Let's open that up, and let's start dropping some like very clean stuff in here, all right? So uh if we start dropping this as we had before, right? There we go. We have a megaphone where we have already broken the range. If we go for a horizontal one like this, right? Taking this low and this high, we're still within the same megaphone. This is important because a change of perspective may, or because this makes a change of perspective, right? This might give different results. Like, for example, if we are so high and we are in this broadening wedge, well, then the next relative thing might be going back down or even still have the chance to go to 100K, all right? I still that 100K is still within the table at this point, but let's go back into another stuff. Like here, we have dynamic reactor and we have, oh, come on, here it is, money flow POC right there. Let me just get rid of those, all right? And not only that, we have a high, we have a low, a significant, and I would actually say lower low. So at this point, by structure, we should be looking for a lower high, right? So are we going to get that lower high? Seems like we already have confirmed it, and that is because we have bounced off that zero line. It seems like we're making a little bit of a goose head. We need to give it one more or a little bit more timing here because we could be doing this in here as a secondary, higher secondary top, right? That could be bringing us somewhere back around this area or even back again at the top, creating a double top. So far, let's go with the narrative of the lower high in here like this, all right? We already have that. And remember, we also had this one like that with this pivot, higher low, and then breakout, retest, and then continuation downwards to the next area of support. I mean, fear not, we can still make another higher low in here for a macro structure. Right? I mean, we can still do something like this, have something like that, and then take on, create a lower high and then take on this highs, right? Which I believe overall that's what's going to happen. Nonetheless, let's go back really quickly and grab this and push it all the way down, and you'll see that measuring this way, thinking that this is a fake out, we're still with the same overall ballpark, right? Where we're supposed to be entering or where our next support area is going to be. So we're talking about once again 117,500. Let's just round it up to, I don't know, 117,500 or 118K. So somewhere around those. And for that, I'm gonna add one of my alerts in here. And this, oh, what am I doing? I should supposed to not be adding it there. But whatever. Let's go all the way up and let's check this out. At this point, once again, we're breaking the trend line. As you can see, we have the same trend line in here coming down. But if we measure it from the very beginning like this, well, again, we have that megaphone, right? So a possible retracement is on its way unless something really happens in here, something we have a this goose can plays out, and that's still a good possibility. Let me show you why. Look at your money flow, right? Money flow is basically how money is rushing into the asset right here, and it's right now curling up as we were expecting all right, maybe to the upside here, which makes this a goose hit. So why did I mention that we need to wait a little bit? Because once again, we can go and create that double top, but so far seems like we have a lower high, so maybe one or two more 8-hour candles will define for some support or for a double top. All right, still, if you're planning for entering for long, wait for the result. I mean, this would have been a fantastic area to long it, right? Or even if we go up, break of structured long, coming back down, re-entry or either second quarter, and then off we go. So we got you covered. Regardless what happens, remember, it's not about knowing what the market is going to be doing. It is about knowing what are your possibilities and having a plan for those possibilities.
Yeah, I'm actually watching a couple of things also, and that level that you were talking about, that 118, that's the green box that we've had on here, which is coming in line with the point of control off of the fixed range volume profile there. Big, huge volume node sticking out there. And then also on top of that, we've got the dynamic reactor coming in on the 4-hour and a 236 fib here. If we lose this level, I am a little concerned because then we get into fair value gaps, and we've got fair value gap here. We've got another one here. I guess this one's been pretty much cleaned out off of this wick here for the most part, but we do have another one here. So we've got two fair value gaps that if we lose this level of 118 that you were talking about in the dynamic reactor point of control and all that, we could fall down to the quantum reactor on the 382. So I am watching all of that, OC. But yeah, I think a little pullback might not be unhealthy at all, and would not be crazy to think about. I mean, this is the point of control is our previous resistance here, anyways, and then before that it was our support. So good line there of volume for us to come back and retest. Great analysis, man. Great analysis. Let's go ahead and give a shout out to the chat right now. We've got 59 people total in here right now. How many we got on? How many is on YouTube, and how many of these are on X? Let's go see. We currently got about 47 people on YouTube watching us, and about the rest of that 12 over there on X. So shout out to everybody that's in the chat right now. Appreciate you guys all being here. And if you guys are watching us on X, make sure you come over and say hey to us over here on YouTube. But shout out to Mike Play, Alexander G, the Mod Queen, JR is in here. We got Melissa in the house. Who else we got? We got Trade Intuition, Bingo Bango. He said, remember, smashing the like is the easiest way to show your support and help the channel grow. 100%. I appreciate you, man. That is a true statement there. Paul Hindenburg is in the house with us. We got, who else? Who else? A lot of people. Lots and lots of people. I'm sure there was a lot of people up top because we get people that roll in and just say good morning. Crypto coin mindset. There you go. Keith in the house with us. Deb is in here. Good morning, Deb. How you doing today? Dylan VA has joined us here, and a lot of people. Steve Hickey, Piper Academy. I'm still here for you, bro. Even though Alex O ditched you, he did. Alex O sent everybody over to Dano Crypto because Dano helped him get his audio straight. And he said, "Hey, if you go live right after me, I'll send everybody your way." And so that's where a lot of people went today. Although I will say, thank you for your loyalty, alumni, because we're at 61 total viewers right now between X and YouTube, and Dano's at 57. I'm watching them. So even with the hundreds sent over, we're still alumni strong over here. Love you guys.
Yeah, that's my alumni. You know what I mean?
All right, OC. I'm going to get into the news, but first I want to explain what happened yesterday. We had FOMC minutes yesterday, and that is basically the verbatim from last FOMC meeting. You can really glean kind of what's going to be coming ahead of us on the next FOMC meeting, which is going to be on October 29th. It's going to be our next rate decision. We are watching that data, and then also we added a little bit of update to it. If we jump over here, I'll show you guys. This is the minutes. Sorry about that flashbang, guys. This is the minutes. All this big long document. Don't worry, I'm not going to go through this document. We're going to have Pam do this for us. So let's go ahead and go over here. Let's bring up Pam, and let's get Pam in here with us and have her tell us everything, because she's already broke all this data down, taken all the new data that we've had come in since this last FOMC, and she's kind of giving us some projections. So let me get her up here. Pam, are you there? Pam, are you there?
Absolutely. I'm right here. Ready whenever you are. Let's make it happen.
All right, we are live here on Piper Academy, the morning market report with OC Guy and the alumni. Can you give us a breakdown on what all happened yesterday with the FOMC minutes and what's happened since then? All this data that you've aggregated. Just give us the rundown how we look at right now for the rate cuts for the next FOMC coming up.
Absolutely. Let's do it. Hey there, alumni and OC Guy. Welcome to the morning market report on Piper Academy. Let's break down what we've got. So yesterday we went through the FOMC minutes and here's the scoop. The Fed is leaning towards another 25 basis point rate cut at the end of October. Most of the governors supported the latest cut, and with the job market looking a bit softer and inflation around 2.7%, they're likely to keep easing. We've also had some data uncertainty because of the government shutdown, but if that clears up and the job numbers come in weak, that pretty much seals the deal for a rate cut. On the flip side, if we get a hint of stagflation, weak labor, and sticky inflation, the Fed might be a bit more cautious, but a 25 basis point cut is still the main expectation. So that's the rundown. We're looking at a likely rate cut, and we'll keep an eye on how that plays out for the markets and for you, the alumni. Thanks for tuning in.
What's the latest update as of this morning on the government reopening and the shutdown? What's the status on that?
So as of this morning, the government shutdown is still ongoing, and we're now into the second week. That means a lot of federal services are still disrupted, like the IRS running with fewer staff, and even flight delays because of fewer air traffic controllers. The courts can keep running for about another week or so, but after that, things get even trickier. So that's where we stand right now on the shutdown.
If the government reopens and we are heading towards that projection of a 25 basis point rate cut, how the market's going to take to that, and what can we expect, especially on like Bitcoin and gold?
Absolutely. If the government reopens and we're heading toward that expected 25 basis point rate cut, markets will likely react pretty favorably. So equities in general, you'd probably see a bit of a relief rally as the uncertainty clears and investors get more confident with a dovish Fed. For Bitcoin and crypto, it's generally a positive. When the Fed eases and liquidity expectations improve, crypto often gets a tailwind. So you could see Bitcoin getting a nice little boost as risk appetite grows. Gold, on the other hand, might see some upward movement too, since lower rates can weaken the dollar a bit and make gold more attractive as a hedge. Overall, both Bitcoin and gold would likely react positively in that scenario.
Okay, and then the last question that I have is, we have, the federal government doesn't pay the active duty military if the government is shut down. And previously in history, we've passed bills that have allowed the federal government to pay at least the active duty military during the shutdown. What's the status on that happening right now? Or what's the likelihood, since Monday is a federal holiday, and that's going to be closing in on the 15th when the military gets paid, which is typically paid out on the 14th to the banks. That doesn't leave much time. So is there anything on a bill being released to pay the active duty military? Or do you think that by Friday we could see a likelihood of the government reopening?
So as of right now, it looks like there's no separate bill moving forward to pay active duty military during the shutdown. The House leadership basically said they've already had that vote and didn't move it forward. So if the shutdown continues, service members might miss that October 15th paycheck. There's a promise that they'll eventually get all the back pay once the government reopens, but the timing is up in the air. So we'll have to keep an eye on whether they can resolve the shutdown by Friday or if it stretches on a bit longer.
Who do you think will take the biggest impact politically for not paying the military on time, the Democrats or Republicans right now?
Well, that's definitely a politically sensitive situation. Typically, both parties try to avoid being seen as the reason the military doesn't get paid, because there's a lot of public support for making sure service members are taken care of. If it drags on and people start missing paychecks, there's usually a bit of a blame game. Historically, the party that's seen as more resistant to a quick resolution tends to take more of the political hit. Right now, if there's a perception that one side is holding up a deal, whether it's Republicans in the House or Democrats in the Senate or White House, that side might face more political backlash from the public, especially from military families and supporters. But it really depends on how the negotiations play out and who gets the messaging right. So in short, it could go either way, but whoever is seen at the roadblock will probably take the bigger political hit.
All right, perfect. I appreciate it, Pam. Thanks for the breakdown. So you said we're looking at a 25 basis point rate cut coming right now. You said, I think you said before was 60% chance. That's a little bit lower than what we're seeing on some of the CME group. But yeah, appreciate that data, and we'll let you know if we have any other questions.
You've got it. Yep, we're looking at about 60% chance for that 25 basis point cut. And of course, we'll keep an eye on how things evolve. Just let me know whenever you need more info. Always happy to help, huh? Break it all down for you.
All right, we're going to let you go. Go ahead and tell everybody bye.
Absolutely. It's been a pleasure. All right, alumni and OC guy, thanks for tuning in. This is Pam signing off. Have a great day, everyone, and we'll catch you next time.
All right, thanks, Pam. Appreciate it. Cool. So there's Pam breaking down the FOMC minutes yesterday for you guys, giving us a little insight. Still no bill passed yet to pay the military. So that's going to be an interesting thing to see. But I'm sitting here watching BC talking about let it stay shut down and let the states take back some power. That is not a bad idea. It's supposed to be state powers anyways, and federal running just a small selection of stuff. But now it's federal government's massively big, and they step on state powers all the time. So I'm with BC on that one, man. OC, you got any input on what Pam was talking about, or should we just jump right into the news?
Well, not much of an input. I think she's right spot on. Not much to add to her. Something important to note is that, well, the longer I think it's a battle between powers, right? Right now is much such pressure, but as Pat mentioned, nobody wants to be seen as the reason of military doesn't get paid, because that is a big social support, right? I mean, I'll say it every single time, as long as it's truth, is that America or United States, it is the Spartans of the world, right? I mean, most of its population, it's military, ex-military, or part of a military family, and that is because that's how their or your society is built out, right? So yeah, I mean, that is part or built on within the backbone of the United States, and that is a big thing. So hopefully they get their s together and they reopen in time for get some payments and also get back to work, because I don't know about you, but if I don't go to work, I don't get paid.
Yeah, that was me back in the day when I was on active duty and we had the last government shutdown. I got a half check, and it crushed my soul because we had family back home running everything. So and no money coming in. Plus I was deployed, so getting a hold of my spouse at the time, with opposite sides of the planet there. Yeah, it creates a lot of pain. That's why I asked that question that I asked about the military getting paid. So because we go to work regardless, it doesn't matter. We're still going to be going to work. We'll get our back pay, but yeah, it horrible, man, horrible. But they're going to get all their back pay. Don't worry, Congress and Senate. No, they're not going to be going without their chump change. We know that it's chump change for them because they make about $200,000 a year and they're worth hundreds of millions sometimes. So let's jump into the news, though. OC, I'm not going to get too political. You know what YouTube would do to us. So Kyle Fields joining us here. I see Kyle Fields and JR Brave Dave saying good morning, everyone. Appreciate you guys all being here. Let's go jump in on the news. Oh, Jenny from the blockchain. I saw you, bro. Appreciate you being here too. Let's go jump in on the news and let's break all this down. We got the metrics going on here from Into the Cryptoverse. Let's start right out the gate with that. Looking at the total crypto market cap, sitting at 4.152 trillion. And again, guys, down 7.25% on that valuation from that $4.476 trillion line. We came in on it again. Look, there it is. Came in on it again and got rejected on that median every single time. It's so weird how that thing works out for us over and over and over. Current wristbands on Bitcoin sitting at 53.4% right now. Just moving slightly into a little bit higher on the wristband here. Still a 2x DCA. Don't worry about it. Don't stress it. How are we looking over here on the Bitcoin dominance with stable coins included? We're at 58.28% right now. And if we take away those stable coins, we are sitting at 62.61%. Bitcoin staying pretty level in that range there. Told you guys yesterday, we were moving away from altcoin season, the 75% line. Look at it now, man. Look at it now, OC. Holy cannoli. Where's it at? Look, straight down. We are now sitting at a 58.7%. So yesterday when I told you alt's probably not going to hold up too well against Bitcoin right now, that's what we're seeing. A little bit of a pullback there. Liquidations in the past 24 hours, how are we looking? 160,543 traders were liquidated in the past 24 hours. A little over $500 million, 561 million. Largest single trade on Binance, it was Bitcoin. Someone did a single trade loss of $8.53 million there. Let's go check out the bookmarks. I didn't even go in through these today. Let's go see what the latest fear and greed is for Bitcoin. Bitcoin sitting at 70 in greed right now. And how about Ethereum? Ethereum is currently sitting at 63, still in greed, despite the little pullback that we've had. Looking at the stock market this morning, let's make sure I got a nice refresh here on this. Looking at Dow Jones, S&P, NASDAQ, and Russell 2K, all in the red this morning, pulling back just slightly. Nothing major, but it is about a 0.23% on the S&P, 0.27, so around 0.25, a quarter percent on NASDAQ and S&P, about 0.3% on the Dow Jones, 0.3 on the Russell 2K and the VIX. Volatility index closing in on 17 again. How's the bonds looking? 10-year yield continuing to go up despite rate cuts, man. 4.142%. It's up 0.011. Gold's in a little pullback, still holding above $4,000. It's about $4,042. Silver slightly down about 0.5%, still holding up near that $50 mark though. Copper is up about 1.83%. Platinum is sitting at $1,708, up about 0.5%, and palladium at $1,532, up 3.33%. I had a chance to buy this at like $100 an ounce, man. $100 an ounce back in the day. Kills me, absolutely kills me. Still strikes me in my soul. NASDAQ record. This is the 5 things you need to know today, guys. First of all, NASDAQ record and AMD's rally, IRS furloughs, and more in the morning squawk. Here's your 5 things today. Milestone mania. The S&P and NASDAQ posted record closes yesterday, with the latter finishing above 23,000 points for the first time ever. Gold and silver prices also climbed to new all-time closes last night. And then we got CoreWeave. Shares rallied more than 8% yesterday. The Federal Reserve officials were almost completely aligned on the decision to cut interest rates by a quarter point. But meeting minutes released yesterday showed there wasn't as much consensus about what comes next. And as Pam broke down for you, that was about a 60% chance that we get another 25 basis point rate cut right now. I do think we get it, though. Roundhill MEME stock. Let's talk about this. Known by its ticker, MEME. This is an ETF for meme coins, OC. You might want to get this one pulled up on your chart, bro. Its ticker is MEME, and it relaunched yesterday. The fund's resurrection raises questions about whether the trade and the market at large is hitting a peak. Is this a top indicator? Could be, guys. Delta Airlines shares popped more than 6% before the bell this morning after the carrier beat analyst expectations on their earnings report. And then phase 1. Number 2, phase 1. President Donald Trump announced last night that Israel and Hamas are having agreed on the first phase of the peace plan that could end the 2-year war. He said on social media that all hostages would be released very soon and that Israeli troops would withdraw to an agreed upon line, a forward line of troops. They're moving the flop back, guys. He said all parties would be treated fairly under the agreement. So we'll see if that happens. We'll see. Eyes on AI, guys. We talked about this AI bubble that everyone's talking about. AMD climbed more than 40% in the past week after rallying 11% yesterday. The stock is on track for its biggest weekly gain in more than 9 years. This is after their deal with NVIDIA goes on. What else do we got here? IRS announced that it's furloughing almost half of its workforce, which we just heard that come out from Pam also. The Senate and on Wednesday rejected funding bills for the 6th time, meaning there's no end in sight to the stalemate. And again, 1010 may not be a thing. Looking at the shortage of air traffic controllers, this is having some delays. So if you got any vacations going on while this is happening, you might have a delayed flight. Keep that in mind. And then vacation badging, guys. Google telling everybody, get your ass back to work. They were doing this thing where you could do up to 4 weeks a year working from home. And people, instead of doing like a week at home for, 4 times a year, once a quarter, they were actually taking 1 day off a week and working a hybrid week where they were 4 days in the office, 1 day at home. Google said no more. If you actually just take 1 day off that week, it counts as a week. So you now have to use it or lose it. If you decide to take 1 day, you're taking a full week or you're going to lose that whole week anyways. That's the 5 things you need to know today from CNBC Pro. Looking at the crypto bubbles here, Bitcoin down about 0.9%, but look at these altcoins. And this is what I was talking about yesterday with the alt season index. Look, Bitcoin down 0.9%, Ethereum's down 3.5%, BNB's down 4.9%, XRP's down 2%. Look at Solana though. Solana holding strong, OC. It's only down 0.6% on the last day. Dogecoin down 3.9. Other big movers here. Chainlink's down 3, Swee's down 2.7, Hyperliquid's down 5%, moving up one spot down to number 15. Stellar Lumens moving up into that spot while it's down 2.5%, sitting at number 14 on that crypto market cap. HBAR is down 3.2%, and rounding out the top 20 is Leo token there. But we are seeing Toncoin, man. Look at Toncoin. It's only down 0.82, and it's moving up the roster to number 23 there. That's what we got on the crypto bubbles today. What's the chance of a government shutdown ending here, guys? Well, 15% that it ends the 10th through the 14th. 85% chance now that this thing stretches out to October 15th or later. Man, I so want to bet against this. I really do. I don't know that I want at this point. Maybe not. I don't know. But yeah, this thing is telling us 85% chance likelihood that we see October 15th as the closing, as the reopening of the government. What about the economic data today, guys? Nothing really. A bunch of chairmen speaking because there's no government agencies to put anything out. We are going to get Michigan consumer sentiment tomorrow. This will come out. This is from the University of Michigan, so it's not federally government related, Fed government related. So we will see that. As of right now, it's expected to be dropping, meaning that the consumer's sentiment is getting worse. That's what that means. 55.1 right now. Consensus forecast to be 54.2 to 54. And then we got a couple of more Fed speakers tomorrow. We don't have anything major until next week, and that's all going to come out on Wednesday, October 15th. Core inflation rate and inflation rates coming in as of right now. It's looking like core inflation rate year over year might be lower. Okay, that would be good. And then looks like inflation rate when you include food and energy, the things we need, it's actually going to be slightly higher. So inflation stickier for longer. And then PPI coming out on Thursday. But we'll have to see, again, federal government, if it's not open, we're not going to get that data. Let's go over here and take a look at the CME group. Pam said it was a 60% chance based on the minutes right now. CME group was actually giving it a 94.6% chance that we get a rate cut of 25 basis points. 5.4% chance right now that there's no rate cut at all. It's a continuation and pause. So, and then we'll get into this article here in just a little while. Guys, this is the thumbnail. This is what the thumbnail was talking about. Analysts are predicting that 60% Bitcoin flash crash below $50,000. We'll talk about that here in a minute. OC, the news, man. any input on the news? What do you think about the meme stock? Can we take a look at that? How is that thing looking? I also want to take a look at gold if you got the time. But meme, did you pull it up as I was talking about it?
Yeah, I got it.
Let's go see what this is. First of all, is a meme coin ETF a top indicator?
Absolutely. I mean,
you heard it here first. It's going to zero.
Yeah. It's going to zero.
All right, let's go take a look at meme. Let's go take a look at meme and maybe pull up gold, and then we'll get into this Bitcoin chart, start laying out those, and then we'll come back and knock out all the altcoins. Let's go, OC.
Absolutely. So look at this, man. This is just ramping. Don't you wish you would have entered at least yesterday? No, of course not. Hopefully, I did give you FOMO, guys. This is just a little test. Look at this. Right down here, you can see that this is the replay. Right? Let's just get rid of that replay. And this is the actual meme, right? So I don't know if I'm in the correct asset. It says meme USDT 4 hours. So this is it. I mean, come on. This was just a little bit before here. This was on the Saturday, 23rd of August, 2025. And well, then despite it has a run up, let's actually put our feet on the ground, all right? So I mean, yeah, maybe you say, yeah, run up for being a meme doesn't look that bad for that retracement, and you'll be all right if we don't take account the daily. Come on, look at that. Oh man, it's just so tiny, itty bitty. That is almost cute. Look at that. We're right down there. All right, so meme, I don't know again if I'm the correct asset. Seems like this was it. If I just go into search right here and I pull this up and do meme, right? We have meme USD, meme C, meme USD, same. Well, this one against Euro. This is the only one that is a little bit different because that is against the Turkish lira, right? Oh, love the name of that coin. So far, I think that we are on the correct asset. Maybe this one might be a little bit different, but that is because it's again Pepe coin. Come on, when are we gonna be seeing meme versus meme coin? I mean, where's the value rotation in there? But so far, I mean, I would not be suggesting it long on this, neither is short. We are very, very, very close to zero. I mean, come on, let's actually zoom in here. Let's go to the 30 minutes and look at that. That thing is actually flat, man. Let me just double click in here. Let's try to make a little bit of analysis.
Oh, see, there's an ETF. So look under stocks for meme. There's a meme ETF. Yeah.
Forex stocks with stocks. The stocks
just
in here.
It's an ETF, so do all. It's an ETF, so do all.
Oh. Meme here is I think ETF trust meme.
That's it. That's the one. Yeah. Yeah.
Or memes. Or that's
famous. No, it's meme. MEME.
Okay.
Yep.
Perfect.
There you go.
And I
it's even worse.
Man. It looks like a joke. But what I don't understand, it's like, who in the right mind will actually approve an ETF on meme? I mean, it's now. I mean, who approved this? Isn't it the government? Isn't it like the financial what is it, institutions that approve this? I mean, come on. Who in the right mind would actually say, hey, you know what? We bounced Bitcoin ETF like 4 times, right? Like 5 times. But let's give it a pass to meme. Why not? Right? In the meantime, what could go wrong? Muted? Still muted?
This ETF may have been the signal we were all waiting for right here. So, yeah, I was muted. You're right here. Cricket sounds for me too. There you go. Shout out to Anything for Clicks. He came over and he said, wait, you're not Army Piper. No, that's the OC guy. That's the co-host of the Piper Academy. All right. OC, how are we looking on gold? Obviously, meme's not doing well. Stay away from the meme ETF, not financial advice. How are we looking on gold today? It's getting a little bit of a pullback, maybe an entry coming for that. I don't think it's dropping. I don't think it's dropping at all. Lunar Beaches Crypto. Yeah, we're going to be heading over there, checking out Crypto Princess after the show. Lunar Beaches. He did an interview with her, so that's premiering right now. But OC, let's go take a look at gold. How are we looking on gold today, bro?
Absolutely. So with the gold yesterday, we were looking for a topping signal right up here. Let's keep a little bit on this because if we go to the 30 minutes, it seems like we have a very dramatic double top. All right. Something important about that double top is that we're coming back down to our previous area of supporting here. Not only that, we're hitting dynamic reactor. It seems so far that we're having a bounce of the dynamic reactor. All right. So just be careful with this one. Is it an entry point? If you're on the 30 minutes, yes, this is a partial entry point. Like right now, let's call that out. Your stop loss should be right below dynamic reactor. But again, be aware, because at this point we could be looking for a lower high and then a lower low. All right, let's go back to the 4 hours in here really quickly, and I want to check out my oscillators. First of all, I want to bring the RSI. The RSI is not there yet, and look at what it's doing. It's making, oh come on, where is my flag in here? It's making this pattern right here. It's making that pattern, and then maybe bounce up. Look at what that creates all the way up there. All right, higher high. So maybe we can get that higher high in a couple of candles. And if we look at the bottoming indicator, or this our oscillator right here, let me bring up the strength indicator, of course. We see that despite we're having a little bit of a run up in here, or a recuperation on our trend in here, we're losing the strength on the bullish trend, but we're still flat in here, right? So that means ranging, and I think that's what we're going to be seeing, all right? So I think this is going to be something like this case in here, in where we have that double top, retracement to the support neckline, and then recuperation, and then make a little bit of that little range. Nevertheless, we do have another entry point all the way down here at 3,955, and that is because right there we have a loud order block, right? So once again, this is why we have a partial entry if you want to keep it, and then if you want to go in here in partially, you can go, in steps, you can jump in right now, and then make another entry somewhere around 3,956, and I would say that will be it for now if you want to jump in. Remember, retracements at these points on gold are to be kept, or are to be taken as re-entries. So far, so good, looking great with gold. Still a little double pattern, but come on, a retracement on the gold after this run up will be pretty nice. That's why I'm saying, despite the retracement, it's looking pretty good.
Awesome. Let's go take a look at this article. Let's talk about this sub $50,000 Bitcoin that Dick Dandy, that's his name. Dick Dandy is the person that did this. So OCU, a larger than life today. Let's make that. There you go. That's a little better. You were super big over there, man. Let's go talk about this article. Analyst predicts 60% flash crash below $50,000. You heard it here first. It's all going to zero. Amid the calls for a new all-time high for Bitcoin, one analyst is going against the trend and calling a crash. Look, if Piper is not a bear, if Pi Bear does not exist right now, I don't know. I think we're okay. Maybe that's a top signal. OC Pi Bear is not here. Amid the calls for a new all-time high, danger. That's right. The prediction not only expects Bitcoin to break below $100,000 level, but which many believe was already left in the past, but to actually fall by more than 60% from here. The analysis, which depicts a flash crash, shows a possible price reversal into levels not seen in years. He entered a Bitcoin short with conviction. Just for the record, guys, I'm in a short right now at $126,000. So I'm in a short, but I'm also into a long right now, which is also in profit from $121,250. So the crypto analyst, who goes by the pseudonym Dick Dandy, revealed that their next move was to enter into a Bitcoin short between $121,400 and $121,700. However, the more interesting part is the take profit targets that Dandy set for this position. So OC, you got your chart up, right? Your clean Bitcoin chart? All right. So he wants to enter between 121.4 and 121.7. Get that on there. We're going to be going over and taking a look at this chart, look at this guy's setup from the article on the TA chart. So we're going to go break all that down. So 121.4 to 121.7 is the short entry. The first level of take profit, this lies about 105.7, so $105,700 level, moving down all the way through $85,800. From here, the crypto analyst expects the Bitcoin price to continue to crash until it falls below $50,000 and registers prices not seen since 2024, falling to the $43,900 target, which would mean an over 60% decline in price. But the analyst expects Bitcoin to crash even further. Okay. With the possibility that Bitcoin could see a recovery from $35,000, the analyst explains that they plan to open a long position to hedge their short. Kind of like what I'm doing. So maybe he's got a decent play here, but dude, you missed your entry at 126. I'm just saying. But maintains their belief in the fact that Bitcoin price will continue to decline. Ultimately, Dandy believes that the Bitcoin price will eventually reach $10,000, which is the end of the target. Holy cannoli. Anatomy of the crash explained in theory. In another post, Dandy explained the theory behind the Bitcoin flash crash as mostly a battle between traders and the market makers. According to an analyst, market makers essentially enable crypto traders to utilize liquidity to enter leveraged positions, but ultimately they want their money back while making sure that traders do not profit from their trades. Such cases lead to rapid price movements, which have become known in the market as stop hunts. These work to take a large number of traders out of their positions very quickly by liquidating them, essentially returning the liquidity and then some back to the market makers. So as for why such a large move is possible, we've talked about this cascading liquidations. The analyst explains that this is because most of Bitcoin's market cap is all liquidity used for leveraging and derivatives trading. In fact, the analyst believes that the floor price of Bitcoin lies around $8,000. Taking into account the stable sources and dividing it by the dispersed amount of Bitcoin on the market. Dandy predicts that this move will happen very quickly, hence terming it a flash crash, and that traders will have very little time to react. The more sell orders there are and the greater the quantity of Bitcoin ordered to be sold, the faster the price will drop down, the analyst explained. And then you can see here, where's the chart? He has a chart here. He pretty much is having this thing from this point now, which is October, and then dropping down. Guys, this would be, here's 2025 to 2024 to 2025. So if you do that same measurement, that would be in 2026. So this is pretty much, he's got this like in the crypto winter. So essentially what he's saying here, OC, he's calling the top in for the cycle. And then he's saying that we are heading into crypto winter. I think he has some crazy numbers. I think that the buying pressure is going to absorb a lot of selling pressure, a lot more than he's calculating in on this. But some of his stuff, like his reasoning, where he's doing this at in the cycle, maybe sure, but I think some of his target levels are way, way off base. Let's go jump over to your chart and let's see what because you got all those numbers, right? Did you need any of those numbers? Did you miss any? You got them all?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I get the most important ones. Yes.
All right. Let's go take a look at this and see what this looks like on a chart.
Okay. Why don't you just jump in here with me? I think that would be interesting.
I'm coming. Go for it. Go ahead.
All right. So perfect. So this is his short opening, right? At 121 for 100, right? So he already missed it. By the way, Piper, what is your short entry? By the way,
126. 126.
All right. 126. Look at that. That's fantastic. Love it. Look at that. All right. So analyst, first one. All right. All right. Maybe you're a newbie analyst. Maybe you start trading yesterday.
I'm a newbie analyst.
That's fine.
I'm a newbie.
It's like, dude, it's like having Android and then clicking on your Android, and then it says you're already a developer. There we go. Skip like 5 years of studying. Let's get it. So so all right, he's gonna be opening right now. Basically, he already should be into a short at this point, right? We have his entry right there, and his first target is gonna be 105. I mean, perfect. I'm good with that. I'm all right with this, right? So far, so legit.
And I'm going through the article as you go here. I'm going through the article, making sure that we didn't miss any numbers. So 1057. Go.
157. Perfect. I mean, that aligns with the previous lows in here. Maybe we can have this is an area that we looked for, right? I mean, we don't see that there is a specific number. It's an area that we look for, and that's aiming for this big, what seems to be creating an order block, which does, right? Or at least it makes a pause in the market. There's a flat positive bullish continuation, which creates resistance on the way down. I mean, it's just the way it reacts. Perfect. And this is what I don't know what was he started drinking, and then he said it could be maybe dropping all the way to 800 to 80K, right? Is it that
85 8
85.8? Perfect. I mean, All right, perfect. It's still within reason. I mean, 85 what? 85
85,800. Yep.
800. Perfect. So perfect. That's still within reason. Perfect. Actually, right here, I said, you know what? It actually started pegging with our analysis. Bottom markets somewhere around 70K, 75, 70 something. Still, I mean, it uses the same pattern that we've been talking about. Nothing new that we haven't just talked about here. Maybe he have skipped this area, maybe because these already have been taken on the way up, so we created here in the higher time frames and maybe a fair value gap between this area. That's why maybe he's skipping this. Perfect. It's still within reason. It has a logic to it. I mean, nothing to say about that. I'm going to the next area right there, and then he just said 43K. All right, bye. All right. I don't really. Who am I to start going for him? But dude, did you actually miss this big ass thing in here? I don't know, man. like,
See,
what
I knew
happened?
you would
were-
catch all this. That's why I wanted you to put it on your chart. Because when I looked at all these numbers, I was like, probably not, dude.
yeah. And then he's going for the itty bitty tiny thing right down here. Come on, really? I mean, what else is in the chart here? Am I not seeing something in the cycle? Is it like based on liquidity factors on brokers? Are we gonna have a FTX 2.0 then, and then maybe just all of this liquidity vanishes like poof, like that? I don't know. All right. Maybe. All right. Maybe not an extended cycle. Maybe we have a deeper crash. Government, maybe US dollar right now is not doing great, right? Maybe we have a devaluation based on the US dollar, I don't know, taking back its coming. I don't know. All right. But then he goes and
But
says,
wait, there's
really,
more.
he's the main factor. It is somewhere around 8,000. Dude, not even mining. I mean, not even when we got the big influx of miners, right? When we have, Mountain Gox in here? We have well, it was a little bit before, right? But we also had, what was that huge mountain right here in Russia that got closed because of the mining thing? Not even when we have the migration of miners from China to the USA, right? I mean, and what I'm talking about miners, because that is the real value, real backed up things. So here, it costs you real money to actually produce Bitcoin. So whoever is holding that, well, I don't think they're going to be selling this at that price. Not if we still now have a backbone miner. Only if we got, I mean, I don't know if he mentioned Bitcoin going proof of stake at any point. I don't know. But not that I have heard of, right?
Proof of stake of Bitcoin. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dropping some
that's
bombs
the
in
thing
here.
that collapses Bitcoin there. That's it. That's the one. So do me a favor.
That's the one.
Do me a favor. From the bottom of 2022, the low of 2022.
All right.
Actually,
it.
no, the bottom. Do it from the low of 2018 over there, all the way over. Because he's talking about levels down to there. So do from there all the way over. Give me a fixed range volume profile.
All right. In here and give you a volume. What?
Fixed range volume profile,
Oh.
FRVP.
Perfect. RVP. Here it is.
There you go. There's all of your volume nodes for the entire history of Bitcoin. That's where he thinks it's fallen all the way down to. And oh wait, there we go. Look at all of the levels in there of volume that he just completely ignores all the way through there. There's a massive one right there. Yep, exactly. Like, come on, man. Come on. Yeah, I think we've broken down his prediction enough. What do I get from this? What's the moral of the story? Don't be a dick dandy. Don't be a dandy dick and bet the house that we're going down to those levels. He's not even looking for cruise boat trips. I'm not. Hey, I've got 2 cruises already planned out, Dutchy. I've got one in December. I'm doing a river cruise in Europe. And then I've got one in January. I'm doing 14 days in the Haven in the Caribbean. So in January. So got my private butler and everything on that cruise, the Haven. It's going to be pretty cool. So I'm having steak and lobster every night, and I'm going to tell them I want white gummy bears only in my champagne mug, in my margarita cup every evening. Give me white pineapple gummy bears, and I'll be happy. So, but OC, that's about all time we got. We got to head over to Crypto Princess. She's doing an interview with LBC, and that's going on right now. But yeah, we don't really have a lot of time to get into alts, but I do want to say something. Guys, let's jump over here real fast. Check it out. We got top fans. I think I'm going to start doing some top fan giveaways here. Right now, Alexander G is number 1 up there. Number 2 is Crypto Coin Mindset. Number 3 is Mike Play. Trade Intuition wasn't number 3. This is based on engagement in the chat. So we'll start doing some giveaways on this every now and then. And then also, I think that we're going to do this. And I think we're going to do this especially for the Monday Discord only members thing. So we have this new thing here where we can go to members only live stream right in the middle of a stream. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to come in every morning. We're going to break down the news, the Bitcoin chart, and then we're going to go to a members only stream for all of your altcoin stuff. And then also for the Discord Monday session that we do with our VIP members over there, which is only $5 a month, guys. It's $5 a month. That's it. And you get access to our DCA and all this stuff. We're going to start doing that on here also. We'll start it out, let people see what we actually break down, and then we'll go to a members only live stream. So new stuff coming in from YouTube, and I think we can really reward our people that reach down deep in their pocket to pull out $4.99 every 30 days here, and yeah, we're gonna do that. I don't count in the giveaways. Alexander G said. Alexander G will not take money from me. I have tried so many times. It just doesn't work. She just won't do it. I'm going to have to just send her, hey, this is a ticket to a plane and a cruise ticket, and there's nothing you can do. I've already paid for it. Sorry. And just send it to her and make her go on a cruise one of these days. That's what we're going to have to do. Send Alexander G on a cruise. What do you guys think? Let me know in the chat if you think that we should send Alexander G on a cruise one of these days. Give me one in the chat. All right. OC, appreciate you, bro. I know you got to run over and do their Sharp Prime class, but we are done here. We're heading over to Crypto Princess right now, setting that up while this outro plays, but I appreciate everybody. Make sure you tune in to OC Guy, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for trade setups with OC, and then tomorrow morning, Good Morning Crypto. We'll be back with BC Port Corp. We'll be back at 10 a.m. breaking down the news, the charts, the markets, the continuation of the government shutdown. Will it be open on 10/10? Remains to be seen. Stay tuned. But we will get you guys all that data tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. We'll see you then. Until next time, guys, trade safe, use some risk management, and remember, be kind to yourself, be kind to others. Peace, love, and profits. I'm out of here.
That's the rap. Chart stack data never lie. Piper led the mission, OC in the sky. Spaghetti on the screen, but the vision stay prime. Chart prime visual signals on time. Alumni strong, we built from the grind. Lessons in the market that'll outlive time. Knowledge is profit, you know how we run. Till the next one, stay sharp, get it done.
You can't handle the truth. Emotional damage.
We'll see you at the next one.
What the fuck they're doing?
Morning market report out.
Boom shakalaka.
We'll see you at the next one. Morning market report out. We'll see you at the next one. Morning market report. Ow.
That was awesome, dude.
Hey, it didn't break. What else you got?